Check this beauty out. It's a Winget or Winget. Oh, I've got a plate. B serial number. Payload 2 ton. 2 ton dumper. With 2 ton of grass and water in it. It's supposed to run safety plaque, that's cool. Seat's a bit tired looking. It's got a twin cylinder Lister. TS2 or something, I think it is. Crank start, so that's going to be interesting. Decompression levers. Diesel tank. Empty. No. Oh, that's hydraulic oil tank. Oh dear. That must be for the tip. Gear stick. Yeah, I don't think it turns. So that's going to be interesting. It's been sitting up. Maybe the guy said about 8 months, probably a year. That's gonna leak. Yeah, we need to get it turning first, then see if we can get it started. That broke. The engine turns, but there seems to be zero compression with these in where I think they're supposed to be, so I'm not holding out much hope for it. Here in there, but there's no smoke coming out, is there? Oh, I feel way more compression now. I feel like that valve there is not. Just want to check this one. I think the valve might be stuck on that side. It's not, doesn't feel the same. We have got some compression. It's not amazing, which is unsurprising. Well, it's not amazing, which isn't surprising. It's harder to turn now. Wonder should we tow it?
You want to not let it go completely, like we suggested there.
I don't think it's going to go the first time, but we'll see.
Ready?
Yeah. Yep. Feel like we've got a dieseling situation now.
Huh?
Feel like she should be away. That filter's full of water. This is definitely not diesel. Straight water. Nice. He's not going to run on that. Oh!
This can't be a news.
I think that's going down your bedroom.
Oh well, I don't put it on gun stuff like that. Although that is probably mostly just dirt and water, so it could go down. Why is it not taking? Is it because it's too much problem? It's not taking the saving?
I don't know, I never tried. Tasty. That filter's really not as bad as I was expecting. Brake cleaner it all out.
That's not too shabby there now, look at that.
Yeah.
No dirt coming up in it anyway, but I'm sure there's still plenty in there.
I wonder if just clean this up. Blast that filter with some brake clean, throw it together and bleed some of that cleaner diesel through.
Yeah.
Those wee bleed screws in the injector pump are excellent. They'll gravity, so whenever there's diesel in here, they'll just gravity bleed.
You can wee filter clean back in.
Filter's clean and back in. And I'm going to just pull these injector pipes off. Go and try and get some decent injector juice. There's diesel. Oh yes. Maybe pull that wee can in. Catch whatever's dribbling off there. And I think we'll just let that keep going. There's that one coming.
Second one there coming out.
That one there, I'd say we could probably plug. That's coming out of the tank, like. You know,
Yep.
that's.
Yep.
Or it could be what was in those hoses, they're fairly big diameter. She'll burn a bit of water. If we can get the ratio to like 75% diesel,
Be good enough.
to be a hybrid
That's
really,
looking alright there.
be like a hybrid rig.
Do we need to bleed that, do you think?
That is blade.
Okay.
That's the wee bleed nipple.
Yeah.
So all we need to do is then wind her over till we get something decent looking out of the top end. You can see it. See the way it runs off that. It beads on it, so you know it's still water.
I was just about to say that. Pumping it in there. No way it was starting on that.
Not a chance.
Oh, it's so close.
Oh, she's getting there.
You definitely done a lot more there.
Yeah. I'd say towing her could be effective at this stage now.
Yeah, this stage. Yeah.
Alrighty, we've got compression. Why don't you just give her full compression on both, see what happens? Yep. Okay, I was hoping to get this started and use it where we had it for that job. And although we did get it started by using an excellent adapter, there is some pretty horrific unforeseen problems with it. Quite important problems as well. One of them is that there is zero hydraulic pressure, so this valve doesn't do anything, which makes it quite useless. You can't even steer it because the steering's hydraulic. And the other issue is that there's only some gears left in this gearbox, which, oh, I didn't know about that, but that's interesting. That might have something to do with it. This is I think that's out of spec for backlash on the bearing, so it's quite a cute wee gearbox. Yeah, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this gearbox yet. The easy thing to do would be just unbolt the gearbox from the engine and just put a new one in, but they're probably very hard to find, and for that reason probably quite expensive. So I'd be interested to see if, like, there's clearly a bearing or something away in there, if fixing this thing would give me at least a few gears. Look at just driving around there. I checked in the manual and there is a hydraulic strainer in here. This is the hydraulic pump, so I'm guessing that our lack of hydraulics are going to be either a bad pump, or there's a strainer in there supposedly on the feed line, although it actually looks like it's been taken out, I think, or some kind of blocked strainer. There doesn't seem to be much flow of hydraulic oil anywhere, and it's a fairly simple system because the flow just comes right out of the tank on this hose into the pump, out of the pump into that valve block, which controls your tip. And I think when it's in its not normally home position, which is supposed to be spring loaded that direction, it allows flow to your steering. Whenever you want to tip, then it just puts the flow to the tip cylinders. So it's quite simple, so I'm hoping it should be an easy enough fix. Probably shouldn't ignore this filter that looks basically factory. The filter's on the return and it's huge, so it may be okay, but probably would be a good idea to swap that out as well. So that's what I'm going to work out now, see if we can get hydraulic pressure, and then we'll see about the gearbox. Because it does kind of move around, so if we had steering that would make it a lot nicer. Also, I think that when we get hydraulic pressure, might find that some of the hoses decide they don't want to be hoses anymore. Anyway, we'll get the hydraulics sorted out first. So I'm going to drain the tank. First thing, drain the tank, check out the strainer, even if there's a strainer, and then move on to the pump. There also, actually, now that I remember about it, is you can see it from here. There's a check valve in here somewhere.
What are you doing?
There's supposed to be. Maybe there isn't. Because that's not a check valve, and that's a T.
Daddy,
That's a 90.
Daddy,
Okay. Okay, maybe no check valve on this one.
I'm right behind you.
That's pretty gross, but it should still have done something. Tank drain suction hose is off. There's no... I put a screwdriver in the oil tank. There's no filter. There's no filter in the hose, so we're going straight to the pump. No, that's better or not. I actually could take the face off the pump here and see what it looks like, but I want to check the drive is all there and not broken as well, so we'll take the whole pump off and bring it in, put it in the bench. There really isn't much to go on inside these gear pumps. And if it needs a new one, I don't think they're too expensive either. Absolutely no room to do anything there. What have we got in here? Some kind of drive coupling. Some kind of drive coupling. Oh boy. Kind of think that should... What have we done? There we go. I think it's okay. Probably need to take this flange off first. But it doesn't look like there's a problem with it. There's this thing here, I don't know what that's... Maybe it's just a oil injection thing, maybe to keep that drive oiled up. Like a nozzle, spray nozzle or something. Might be able to see better from the other side. Although I think this is okay. It's not broken up. On to the pump then. Oh, I'm very excited to have a look in here. First things, seems like it's turning okay. Oh, put a bit of oil out. So let's get in here. What is going on in here? Gaskets of some sort? Seems to be a bit of dirt in there. Uh-huh.
You have to wait for this, look.
Is that going to slide out?
Look.
Oh,
I got it.
did that come out?
Look, this
Yeah.
one.
Oh boy. Right.
I really needed a space socket for this thing.
Gears. Probably this should come out of there, I think. Or one of them. Oh no, that's the drive. That one will come out. Hard to tell. It doesn't look bad, I don't think. The other one's going to be the drive shaft.
And it's not like power, it's always sometimes you can start off slow.
It doesn't look horrible.
Start off fast like this. But, oh.
Oh boy.
I definitely sanded it.
Those feel like grooves.
Oh yes! Oh, I didn't realize you guys. Like,
There doesn't seem to be anything too bad in this pump, so from all I know about them, there's like wear there where the seal sits, you can feel that. So I'm going to just there doesn't seem to be too much wear in this pump from all I know about them, but there is like wear there and some scores on these, so I'm going to sand them all up and put it together, and then I'll actually test the pump with a gauge to see what it's doing. Small amount of sanding later on that bad plate and it's gone. That's up to 600 grit sandpaper, and I've went over that one about 120, and you can see pretty bad grooves in there too, so I'm going to do that one. Can't make it hump any worse. Alright, all the pieces are now sanded and cleaned, so it's time to put this together. The A2, so I have the gasket and the backing ring on there. These are numbered A1, A2. A2 was on the shaft, which is here. So I'm going to leave it like that. I'm going to put this on. That's definitely upside down. And that small shaft went in the top. Main shaft went in the bottom. Then these went in A1 that way, A2 that way. Then that one's on. And plate O-ring. Forgot about that one on that side. Check my marks, there we go, they're okay. In reality I should put a new shaft seal in there, but that really is quite tight and I don't want to waste any money in this pump if it's not going to work.
Next summer.
If you want to. So the way these work, as far as I'm aware, is that the oil comes in this side, and as those rotate that way, the oil is drawn around here and pushed out here. And I think my pump may still be worn out, but I think the worst problem was that these were so badly worn where the seal sits that the oil was just leaking across here really, and it wasn't getting pressurized to come out. So I'm quietly confident that this will do something better than it did. kind of feel like that's on upside down. Let's have a look at that. And a rotation there. What is that? Oh, that would indicate it goes the other way. Alright, let's have another go at this. Got the marks lined up here. I think I got my direction messed up. And the shaft is on the top one. So let's put this in. How is that not the same? Marks, no marks. Oh, for goodness sake. So either I'm getting really confused or someone else has had this apart and put it together wrong. So I'm just going to go off the diagram that I found because it's off the Doughty page. Have the pump back together. I've rigged up this situation. We've got a pressure gauge on the outlet and the feed hose is on the inlet, acting like a very small tank. Let's turn this over and see, does it lift the gauge? Well, it's pushing oil out here. The gauge isn't going up at all. Not to say that the gauge actually works. New gasket ordered and delivered in the same day, which is pretty good because I don't like waiting for stuff. Get that on there. Wow. Fits pretty good for an aftermarket. I want to take this gearbox out anyway, so might as well take it out before I put the pump back in, just to give me a bit more room.
No.
Ah. Ooh, there's a lot of oil running out of there. Consequently onto my trailer. Ah! So that don't handle. Well, that was definitely worth doing because the bell housing is full of, I'm gonna guess, gearbox slime. Seems quite thick to be engine oil and doesn't look super black. So I'm gonna say the gearbox oil is leaking. And all the oil ran into the bell housing and then the bearings died. And that's probably what happened to that gearbox. Also, that's clearly seized, so I'm wondering, would that have had an effect as this is articulating? Would it have put pressure on the housing or something? I'll need to get that freed off. Tasty. That's a bit cleaner. This might have something to do with the oil leak. So we've got that on the input shaft and that on the output shaft. So I'm gonna say this. I'm probably gonna be looking for a new gearbox.
Daddy,
What?
this is good.
Oh, that's just gonna be annoying.
Right here.
Hmm. Oh dear. That may be part of the problem. I'm gonna guess that the water was just getting in through the gear stick and has just filled this up. That bearing there is shot. I'm wondering could I just put some new bearings in it, that would be pretty cool. Probably got damage in some of the teeth, but not really. If I have some gears that would do. This just literally came out of my hand. I think that is supposed to be like that though. Well, that helps. I wonder can we slide everything off there then? Oh! Ew. So filthy. Middle one comes out first. And then we have a big one. I'll make it like here at 9. Yeah. Here one there. Right. Yeah. That should be enough to start it. Ooh, got the pump on, got the oil in, ready to test it. So we just need to try and start this thing again, which is going to be interesting, but we'll figure something out. This is the manual crank converted to electric crank. Just cut that bit off and did it like this because nobody's starting that.
It's not noisy.
This is the pressure relief valve from the spool block, and this piston is supposed to sit in here, and it was quite tight. I had to take it out with the screwdriver, so I'm going to put some grease on that and rebuild it, and I'm hoping that that is the cause of our seemingly low system pressure, but the pump is still fit to make, say about 100-150 bar. So I think we're losing it through here.
We actually got it working.
How about that? It works. Well, I don't know if it tips a load, but it definitely moves the skip and it moves the steering. So I'm pretty confident that it'll tip a load. Have a look in here. We definitely need to do the main seal on the crankshaft. But yeah, she's a runner. She's got hydraulic pressure. We just need a gearbox now. I've ordered a rebuild kit for the gearbox, which is just bearings and gaskets really. Have the box and part over here. See all the gears, all really not in great shape, but we're gonna try them. I'm going to have to, no, wrong shaft. I'm going to have to machine this one, weld it and lathe it back into spec whenever I get the needle bearing for it. These are the bearings. That's probably the best one. The other ones are pretty bad. Look. Have the clutch in the gearbox here as well. Unsurprisingly, it's seen better days. The flywheel has got a big groove in it, but I'm not really too worried. I've sort of degreased the clutch and I'll dry it off with a blowtorch before we reassemble it. And if it turns out that it's worth putting a clutch into, then because they're not super cheap and it only takes 15 minutes to take the box off, then we can investigate that. But I would say it'll drive for all I need it for. There's a bit of wear left on it, so might as well try it. So basically we need to get this put back together and put back in, and then fingers crossed we will have a dumper that drives and tips. Oh boy. Okay, we're getting some of it. Okay. Okay, I'm not getting that bit. Maybe that over a bit. Yeah, that kind of went as I was expecting. Pretty oily. Not a great design, that. There is a pipe here that's broken off, and I wondered what it did. And it turns out it's the oil feed to the two rocker arms. And the rest of the pipe sat about there, where my finger is. And there was no oil coming out of it, which made me think, why have we got any oil pressure coming out that pipe if this is an oil feed pipe? So I drained the oil out, that's why it's all messy down there, and had a look in here, I cleaned this all out as best I could. It was all grimy and sludgy in there. And you can see it's pretty good. And took the oil filter out that was here. Checked the oil pressure relief valve, which is working. And there's another fitting down in there that fed the rocker arms. That's the fitting here. And there's a restrictor in here, presumably so that this pipe then doesn't allow all the oil pressure up to the top end and not keep any at the bottom end on the crank. And this has a shuttle in it and a spring, both of which were stuck. So I'm hoping that freeing that off will give me oil pressure back to the top, coupled with the fact that that's the old oil filter, which has clearly been crushed with pressure because it's so blocked. We've now got a new oil filter, have this cleaned off. I'll have the oil pump strainer cleaned, and then this is going to be awkward to find, so I'm just going to put some hose on there to join the two pieces back together, and hopefully we should get oil pressure back to the top. So the first thing to do, I suppose, is put the oil filter in. I've went ahead and cleaned this all. So we'll get that in and put these covers back on and see if we can get some oil pressure. New seal there for the bowl. Even though it didn't start, we did get oil here. Kind of hard to see it. So I'm going to connect that pipe back up to this pipe, and then we'll try and get it running. No doubt this will be easier from above with the skip tipped, maybe not. I don't really want to get crushed by a skip, so I'm going to do it this way. Don't look further away, gotta. Yeah. Aye. Shifting spanners aren't really good for this. No way. Oh yes. Yes! Amazing! Well, I guess there's oil in there, so it's not going to try and seize from the inside. That has made my life a lot better. I could probably reuse those tees as well, just clean them up. Weld that bracket back on maybe. No way. Wow. Oh dear. I want to go. Whew, there's that one. Oh, they're so bad. How they didn't blow when I was maxing that system on the dump out, I do not know. Anyway, let's get some new ones. New hoses. I'm going to reuse this. I welded the T-piece back on and there's a hole here where it looks like that was bolted through from the inside, so I'm going to reuse that because it'll keep the hoses up fairly safe out of the way in there. And also means if it's bolted, then I can just take it off to get to the spanners on the fittings easier. So I have to get these two fed through here and then we'll get that connected up. Seems like a terrible design. Unless I'm doing this all wrong. Ah, it was tight, but it wasn't sealed. I think it was the right way around though. That definitely could have went better, but at least they are the right way around. So let's see if we can get the bolt in. But is it any wonder they get so shredded when the skip is moving and they're just riding in there on that angle iron? Although it does look like it's been hammered in, so I might try and pull that straight again and give the hoses a lot less you know, edges to rub off. That's pretty bad there. It's definitely supposed to be down here. Oh, yeah. One. Finally found something that wasn't completely destroyed. That's good. Okay. Oh, I've got oil in there too. Maybe a wee bit low, but
Looks nice.
not too bad. So this is where we're at with this gearbox build. I have finally received the entire rebuild kit, load of gaskets, bearings, oil seals, everything I need to put this back together, and a manual, which is pretty cool. The shaft I've managed to build up with weld and turn it down to the right spec, and the new needle bearing is in there. This shaft as well, I had to sleeve, made that sleeve because the new needle bearing was the same size as the old bronze bushing, which didn't fit that shaft. So I think you're supposed to buy a new shaft, but these three shafts are probably more than I paid for the entire dumper, so wasn't really interested in doing that. So this really was the worst situation here. That was definitely worn down. I've managed to get the new bearing in there with a bit of bearing seal, and that is quite a nice fit now. There's a bearing here and a bearing here, so I don't really think that needle bearing takes an awful lot of load. I think it's more to do just to support the input shaft whenever the dumper isn't in gear and the engine's running, just so it isn't driving the output shaft. So I'm pretty confident that that's going to be fine. Similarly with this came originally with a bronze bushing, which is that one, and it's been destroyed, but I think it's more likely destroyed because it's been tried to be reused, or this shaft was loose on it, either or. But I'm of the opinion that if that was a bronze bushing, then there shouldn't be much of a side load on this shaft either. So I would hope that my sleeve should last. And there's only one real way to find out, and it's just to build it. So that's what we're going to do now. We're going to get that put together. I have all the pieces over here. Probably looks worse than it is, but in this very useful manual we have not only tells you how to build it, it has pictures, so I should be able to follow that okay, and with the description on the front, get this put back together. I did, that's the shaft, the clutch release bearing. I did give that a bit of a weld and a turn as well, and some new bushings in here because they were bad. That's one of them there. It was well worn. It would really just have meant that the clutch had more play in the pedal, but I thought if I was doing the other ones I should do those too. So let's get this gearbox built and hopefully we can drive around this dumper. Yes, we've got some gear oil in here now. So let's check the selectors, gear selectors. So we're in neutral at the minute because this isn't moving. I'm turning the input shaft. Let's pick one of these gears. Yes, that feels like third. It's sort of a 1-to-1 speed. Neutral again. Don't know what speed that is. Neutral again. Put that one back.
Oh, I know how you don't know you're picking the gear. How much gears does this have? Oh.
Yeah, that's a low one. That's first probably. Or reverse maybe. Yeah, we'll move that one.
Oh.
Yeah! We've got all the gears. Cool, let's put this top cover on.
That looks heavy.
It is heavy. Oh, what a beast.
Would that be as heavy as me?
Don't know.
Oh. Yeah.
Okay, right.
I knew that just like sat in there.
Yes!
Yes!
Haha!
Yes!
That's pretty good.
After 1,000 years of working. Well, that's just hard to get through. Especially on the bottom. One more bolt?
No, then just need to tighten them up.
Yes. And then you just put one and then you go like... It shouldn't take that long.
It's back together! Ooh, I'm so excited. Can't wait to see this drive. So without further ado, let's start it and see can we move forward. It's dark outside, but I'm still gonna blast it even if it's raining and dark. I would be fairly sure that that was the whole cause of this problem. there it is. Starts, drives, tips. Definitely better than it was when I picked it up. It's a bit windy here today. The engine definitely needs a refresh. It's breathing pretty bad, especially out of this cylinder. But you know, it does start and it does run. So for now, I'm happy enough with this. I'll probably do the engine up. I don't think it's going to be too difficult. Should be able to just get down to the block and build from the top, from the block up. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this one. I'll see you in the next one.